Hi, my name is Abby Hall from the Hallmark, and I'm delighted to present the decorating proposal for the Birch residence. Firstly, my inspiration, which was very much drawn from your brief. I have come up with a proposal which I think is very textured in its style of fabrics and furnishings that I have chosen. I'm looking at blending the new and the old with artwork and the types of cabinetry, for example, that I've used. So trying to create a very eclectic style, but also very sort of stylish in terms of the colour palette. Quite strong, not colour specific as you requested, but quite strong and sophisticated in terms of the style. In terms of the furniture layout, starting with the living area, I would say very open plan. I know your requirement was to accommodate up to 10 people in this space, and I've certainly looked to do that by opening up the lounges against the walls here, using furniture that can be readily moved around like these ottomans, making sure that it's non-TV centric with some cabinetry here, and then moving into the dining area, again, being able to accommodate up to 8 people, but again, using some built-in cabinetry to make it an entertainer's delight with a butler's pantry tucked away there. In the layout for the upper level, the children's bedroom and the master bedroom, starting in the master, I would consider this layout very much a relaxation sort of zone with the seating area here and a side table, so easy to relax and have a glass of wine if you choose. All centered by this lovely rug and the bed here facing out to the window. In contrast, using a lot of open floor space here in the child's room, again for play, much more functional. In this landing area here, using shelving to create a library. From a research perspective, really considering the inspiration and your brief, I've decided to opt for a very neutral colour palette on the walls, a vivid white, a wash and wear paint, which again is very durable and functional for families. Low VOC. I've opted for a hardwood flooring throughout the residence. And instead of weighing up and using carpet, I've decided to add some warmth and texture and pattern by using rugs in most of the areas in the home. In contrast and weighing up the style of cabinetry for storage, again, I've opted for something which is more closed, so you can hide games away, etc., as opposed to something which is sort of quite open. And with the lighting, looking at a really dramatic impact with the lighting set against this neutral palette on the walls, and again a neutral fabric for curtains. I've used curtains throughout the home, again in the same colour, just for that functionality of warmth, but also to make it relatively neutral and overlay it with different elements of texture and pattern in some of the furnishings. An example of further research looking at weighing up the options with the dining chairs. Here I was looking at a really lightweight dining chair, which was good to move around. It's made of a polycarbon, but opted again for a leather finish, which is very durable and long lasting. And I think in a family home, it will look great, but it'll also give you some longevity. Similarly, with this tabletop, wanting to show the texture in the marble, but opted to put a lacquer finish on top so it's durable with entertaining and family. And weighing up the concepts of built-in cabinetry versus standalone furniture here, answering to your needs of an entertainer zone, thinking that it would be great to have these bifold doors to close away a butler's pantry in the dining area. Similar research happened in the bedroom, for example. Here, do we go for utilizing sort of looking at positive and negative space, having this open bedside cabinet, allows for that space and openness. But then again, we get to see the cable cords, for example, so opting for something with more storage and where you can hide cables behind here. Looking at pendant lights as opposed to lamps, just to give some more space on the bedside tables. Again, durability in the leather versus the fabric here in the bedroom chairs. And we'll talk about the bed head a little bit later, but opting for much more of a sculptural sort of piece in the artwork for the bed head as opposed to a more simplistic bed head here. This is the overall aesthetic for the living room. Again, you'll see those textures coming into play, as well as that interplay with new cabinetry and old, that eclectic mix, but I think it really works in this scenario. And here in the 3D model, you get to see the openness of the space and the drama of that lighting centered over that wonderful rug, and very sort of open plan in its style. I've included a presentation board so you see exactly where each piece of furniture is located on this layout using this legend here. You can see an example of the Minotti Yang modular lounge here, which is really that you can move that around quite readily, but we've positioned it here and here, offset by this lovely coffee table. Again, a great entertaining zone which can accommodate multiple people, and really blends that old and new together. In the dining space, that's the overall aesthetic, again textured with the marbles and incorporating some wallpaper into this area. You can see the open plan space, so both the lights, Modo chandeliers here, and a similar look, but using this built-in cabinetry, which is sort of quite modern, and then opening it up and you've got the wallpaper sitting behind just to add an interplay there, and again being quite eclectic. That is quite self-explanatory in terms of where everything sits in that space. The entrance and landing area, not to discount those areas, the entrance is very much sets the tone of what's to come in the rest of the house. So have got an eclectic interplay with these sort of contemporary Modo chandeliers, picking up from the chandeliers we've used in the living and dining, offset by this lovely light to reflect in that entryway space, and quite a classic style sideboard, which is also again good for closed away sort of storage. Upstairs on the landing, building in some shelving for books or artifacts. Again, just creating a different zone in that landing space. Master bedroom, relaxation zone. This sets the tone of the style. Again, quite sophisticated and stylish in terms of the choices there. Here you see it in a 3D sort of model. Bed faces the window. This gives you a bit of a sense of the height of the bed head, but I've got a sketch to show you that, and that relaxation area at the end of the bed there, but quite open in terms of its style. These wonderful souffle chairs, Kelly Wersler positioned around the gorgeous rug, a bone inlay side table, again that could be moved around quite easily, and this very sculptured artwork which is centered in the bed head just to add an eclectic mix to this style of room. Here you get a sense of the height of the bed head. We're talking 2.5 meters high in a 3 meter high ceiling here with pendant lights, so it is quite a strong feature in the room, but I think it responds to your brief of mixing up new and old, and I think works really well. Quite a statement. Here you just see the elevation of the height on a king size bed in the room. And moving into your daughter's room, the colour palette isn't as strong, it's softer tones. using that pattern still with the wallpaper, which is a gorgeous sort of butterfly print, a lovely warm toned rug, beautiful baskets, woven baskets for storage. You can see here that the 3D model shows quite open plan again for play. The wallpaper would be on this wall here. And specifically, you can see the products that I've chosen. This bed in particular works well with a younger child because it's got the bed rails and a trundle also for when you're entertaining. But mixing up those, a wonderful teepee for storage and play in the corner, the chest of drawers, which would be positioned here, a lot of space, obviously. And, the last but a final and a bit of fun look is the lighting, which just lightens up the room a little bit. So that is the end of the presentation. It's been an absolute delight to work on this project. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you found that interesting.